welcome to Fish on Fridays. I'm Al McCauley. Today I want to talk to you about a relatively recent Marian apparition whose feast day we celebrate and remember every year on November 28th. And I'm talking about Our Lady of Kibeho. Now you might be saying to yourself, I've never heard of that. Where is Kibeho? Kibeho is a city in the southern part of Rwanda, which is an African nation. It's in South Central Africa, a landlocked country. And she appeared to several school children in the 1980s, from 1981 to 1989. And what's interesting about this Marian apparition is it's the only Catholic Church approved Marian apparition in the continent of Africa. And because it's so recent to our own times, I would suggest it has messages for us. In fact, Mary told the visionaries, several school children over time, she told them that her message was not just for Rwanda, and it wasn't just for Africa, but it was indeed for the whole world. So let's back up a little bit and look at this. Now, in the early 80s, Rwanda was, relatively speaking, a peaceful country. However, there was a lot of political turmoil and tumult that was brewing beneath the surface. And Mary appeared and instructed the schoolgirls that she appeared to pray the rosary and to remember the devotion of Our Lady of Sorrows, the 7 Sorrows of Mary. Now, I'm not going to go through those here, but I did an episode on Fish on Fridays about Our Lady of Sorrows in the past. You can always look that up just as a refresher. But Mary asked for the rosary to be said daily for peace, for penance, as a way to offer to God our reconciliation so that there would be no war, there would be no bloodshed. Now, unfortunately, Rwanda is going to go through a big upheaval. In the 1990s, I think it was 94 in particular, there were about 1 million Rwandans that were massacred during an attempted genocide in that country. But again, as Mary told these school children, her message wasn't just for Rwanda or Africa, but for the world. So I can't help but think of our own times in our own world and what peace we need in our world. There's too much bloodshed. There's too much war. And so remembering Mary's message to pray daily the rosary, to invoke her name as an intercessor to God so that we can forego the bloodshed, so we can forego the violence. And sometimes it's hard for us to do that because we think, well, that's such a big thing, the war over there, or how can I stop that? I'm not a politician. I'm not a general in the army. And I would think about the message from Mother Teresa, who said, if you want world peace, go home and love your family. We all can easily love our family and love our, extended neighbors. That's how we change the world. That's how we bring about world peace, is we start small and let the ripple effects go out. And praying the rosary is a great way to start that, and to remember this message that she gave to those Rwandan school children back in the 80s. One of the ways she identified herself to these women was that she was the mother of the Word. Now, Word with a capital W, of course, refers to Jesus. If you read the prologue of John's Gospel, we're told, in the beginning was the Word. Capital W Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. And John, the writer of John's Gospel, is referring to Jesus. And so Mary is identifying herself to these school children and to us by extension that she is the mother of Jesus and that she comes with this message. Just as sure as she gave birth to Jesus in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago, and she gave birth to his public ministry at the wedding of Cana by suggesting his first miracle, she continues to give birth to Christ in our own times, asking us to pray to him for forgiveness, for penance, for peace. So that's the message of Our Lady of Kibeho. Again, we celebrate this every November 28th. She's a wonderful apparition to get to know and to maybe do a little bit more research on. If you'd like to share this content, please feel free to do so. Very grateful if you would sign up for Facebook, to join us on Facebook, to follow us on YouTube. But either way, please keep tuning in for every Friday for Fish on Fridays. Until next time, please be good to each other, and God bless.